So one funny thing about the Matrix, I was just at the store and this guy's talking about this rewards program, and I don't bother with that usually. And he's like, "Oh, why not?" And I said, "It's all psychological." And I know a lot of people go straight to conspiracy when I say that, but the thing is, they're leading a trail of breadcrumbs, and you're following it, and at the end, you think you're getting a reward, but the way I see it, they should just slash the prices to begin with. We shouldn't have to worry about digital coupons and stuff like that. I mean, they're just exploiting our need in the 80s and 90s for, paper ones when people would go insane over those. But, even as a kid, I used them here and there, but usually it was stuff that I wasn't even getting, and it's like, how jobs used to give bonuses and now they don't. And it's like, well, that's because corporations tend to find one way that works and then they'll use that system in other places, kind of make all function as one, which works. But when it comes to the reward programs, I feel like, what they do is they lead you to this reward, thinking that you're getting rewarded, but you actually spend a lot more over time. And so it's a psychological thing making you think you won when actually the rise in prices, the more hoops you have to go through to get these good prices leads to another bread trail, and they're laying down the bread trail. And so, like, the thought of reward is great, but I see capitalism as evil when it feeds off addiction. Now, addiction is a biological process where the mind gets overstimulated with dopamine, gets what it wants, even though it didn't know that's what it wanted before it tried it. It's like, so that's a biological thing. It's already there. The ability to be addicted where others aren't. They have more of a resistance to the addiction, but everybody has an addiction, right? So that feeding off addiction is where the real suffering happens, and that's they're leaving bread trails, and it's like you can get this benefit, this benefit, this benefit, but then over time it's like you're losing your benefits the same way the Homestead Act worked. It's like you get all this acreage as long as you tend to it, as long as you take care of it, and then over time they ended up like buying out these places for manufacturing and stuff like that when I mean it was inevitable. It was inevitable for our progress because I see the universe as nothing but patterns. So those patterns are already established, they're just not identified. So that's the reason mathematics works, is because those patterns were already there, they just had to be identified. But in order to find a thing's limit, you have to find its resistance. So even the brain works that way. Like when I came up, with the concept of programming, it was because of the liberals. The teachers were telling kids that they could dress as animals and take litter boxes to school, and literally telling them to do this and that obviously in the long run would destroy their lives because they'd be confused. So I saw that as programming. Same with the Olympics. When they let men swim with women competitors, they're getting more leverage over women. I mean, that's programming to the mind. So you're literally saying, now women ain't winning nothing. All the men are, even the men on the women's team, they're identifying as a woman, but they can re-identify as a man anytime they want and say, yeah, I got an Olympic medal. I couldn't win in the men's competition. I felt like shit about myself. I wanted to transform my body, so I ended up becoming a woman and won a medal, and now I'm top of the world. And that's another psychological thing, is that We feed off that dopamine, even though it goes against majority's morals. To us, it's not a bad thing because we won.